Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1, Episode 6. It is called Lonely Among Us. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, this one, an electric demon infects the Enterprise and jumps from body to computer to computer until it gets to go home again.
Pretty much.
Also, there's a kind of a comedy subplot about two alien races who have been taken for like a peace treaty talk on a neutral like space station or whatever, and one of them kills another one, tries to eat them,
Yeah.
and it's like a joke at the end where like it's actually played for hijinks at the end where like Yar just runs in and says, "Oh, we're having lobster. I think it's one of the other, because one of them looks like a more or not lobster, a reptile, because one of the races looks more reptilian." And like they're trying to eat one of them as if he's already dead, and I'm like,
And then Picard's just like, oh, you deal with it, Riker.
and I'm like, I feel like this seems a bit more dark to just to be like relegating to a comedy subplot.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless I misunderstood, unless he's not been killed yet, unless they're just planning on eating him.
I think that they might be just threatening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in which case it's okay. In which case it's funny because then it's like, oh, he has to go deal with this, ridiculous
You
feud.
go stop them. Yeah.
Yeah, because they introduce these characters first, like the alien race, and they're like, oh, we can smell the other, the other kind. Don't have us too close to them. They're awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this peace treaty talks negotiation's going to go swimmingly with this attitude.
Yeah. I mean, it's less peace treaty and more because they want to join the Federation, right?
Sure, but I think the Federation are insisting they play nice with each other. The idea being if they hate each other this much, then neither one will be let in because they're
Yeah, that could be.
they're, too, they're too savage and like blood feudy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the main thing though is they go through like a sort of electric field of some kind, and Worf gets zapped by this, and he seems like out of character for a little bit, but then he kind of snaps out of it fairly quickly, and the electric discharge kind of goes to someone else. It ends up in a Dr. Crusher when he's in the med bay.
Yeah, you say he snaps out of it. He does kind of pass out.
He passes out, yes.
Yeah, he is unconscious, and that's why she's looking over him. It's
Well,
not like
that's
he's
kind
just
of
fine.
that's kind of what I meant. I meant he's unconscious. He goes to the med bay, and she's tinkering, and then it infects her, and she ends up on the bridge. And it's kind of whatever's controlling her is kind of like looking for information on the ship, how to control it. Where the engine is, where the bridge is, that kind of thing. Actually wants to listen to Wesley's science lecture at one point.
I was interested that it's clearly encountered ships before. It's familiar with the concept.
Yes.
Because there's a bit where when it's talking to Wesley, he's like, "Oh, is any of this to do with navigation?" He's like, "No. This is engines. Navigation's all on the bridge." And she's like, "Ah, yeah, bridge. That's up at the front, at the top. Yeah, that's what I forgot with there."
Yeah. So I don't know. And then, weird, sabotage-esque things start happening, right? Yeah. And, of course, it accidentally kills one of the engineers down in the engineering deck. And this is where kind of the mystery of what's really happening here is going on. What's happening are these accidents? And they kind of, say, well, no, it can't be, so there has to be a saboteur. Is it one of the two alien races? And this is how we get into the data section of the episode,
the best section of the episode,
where someone casually mentions Sherlock Holmes.
It's Picard
and his presence, because Picard's a fan of the classics, of course, right?
Of course he is. He's clearly a well-read man,
and in this century this is a classic at this point.
Yeah.
And they have to explain to him what Sherlock Holmes is, and it's a shame that they don't have a Sherlock Holmes aboard to help with this. And Data,
and there's a moment he kind of looks towards the camera and raises his eyebrow.
It's not actually that, but it's that feel you get from it, where he kind of like, he's got an idea.
He does raise his eyebrow though, and you're like, okay.
Next time we see him, he's got a pipe and he's talking like Sherlock Holmes. He's indubitably, and he has elementary, my dear Riker, and things of this nature.
All I'm saying is Sherlock Data is the best thing in this show so far.
I don't know if I'm not to go that far yet, but
I said so far.
It's amusing. It's amusing. And Picard being annoyed at him, but then Data kind of makes a good point.
Yeah.
Because they've ruled out the alien races, because ultimately they rule them out because they're too busy hating each other and trying to eat
Yeah.
each other.
And it's basically let's give them an excuse to do the once you eliminate the
yeah.
whatever remains must be true.
Yeah, but once you eliminate the improbable, whatever's
Impossible?
left.
No, impossible.
Impossible.
And then whatever's left, however improbable, must be true.
Yes. That. But butchered the hell out of it. But yes, you've heard it. You've heard it before. You know what it is.
Yeah. But it was an excuse to have him say that.
Yes. And it's like, okay, all right, so there's something on the ship. And of course, they kind of know what's going on by this point. They kind of figure it out. And then Picard gets taken. This thing is into Picard. And Picard goes out of the bridge and demands they turn around and go back to where the electronic field was. And clearly this thing's trying to get home. And immediately, Beverly Crusher and Riker kind of looking at each other like, this doesn't quite seem like Picard anymore. Something's afoot. No, I didn't even mean that. That was unintentional. That was beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
So something's afoot. And they even have a conversation about relieving of his command, and he's like, well, I mean, you're the doctor. You can, say that he's unfit.
It's like, yeah, but it's a bit early to call mutiny after just one direction change.
Yeah, because he's not done anything that weird. I mean, it's weird that he's asking us to go back there, but he's not endangered the ship. He's not endangered the crew yet. There's nothing like that. But they both agree that something's up. And then, Riker's, because she's like, you can also, step in and, relieve him of his command if he's, for other reasons, because you're second in command. And he's like, yeah, I can, but it seems a bit early for that. And I love that there's one point where it does get more extreme later on, where Crusher just does shout out, I relieve your command because you're clearly unfit to do this, and it's right as he's going crazy, and then he, that's when he starts electrocuting everyone.
Fine, I quit anyway.
Yeah, he starts electrocuting, because that was a screenshot I saw when I looked at this one last time. It was just all the lightning in the bridge, attacking everyone.
Do you know what really bothered me about that scene? That scene probably bothered me more than anything else in the episode.
Sure.
Is that they're getting electrocuted and they're like, we're blind. Where is he? What's going on? And it's like, he literally hasn't moved yet. He's still stood right in front of you.
Yeah, but he does actually get go, and he goes, and at this point he's like, I've bonded with Picard, and we're both explorers, and whatever. So Picard's coming with me. So he actually beams out as Picard into the field, and we're left without Picard, and Riker and that are like, well, where did he go? Is he just floating out there?
He only went out as energy. He didn't reform his body out there.
Yeah, I don't think we know that at first though, right? Not until they start looking at the
yeah. Well, as soon as they get down to the transporter.
That's what I mean. Until they go to the transporter.
Yeah.
Because there's before that though, when they're on the bridge and they're like, where did he go? And they're talking to the guy in the comms, and he's like, I don't know where he went. The recordings aren't there.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought it was him there that told them that no, it's energy only. It was set to.
But regardless, they come back down, and they're like, some science-y Speed Force bullshit. Is like, well, if it was just energy, he's still technically his body's still inside the transmitter since no one else has used it yet. So maybe we can lock on to where he went and beam him back in because his body's still inside the thing.
No. I no. So what it is so the transport works. So it breaks them down and then recreates them. Yeah.
Yes.
So it broke him down, but it didn't do the recreation part.
Yeah. So he's in there.
So he's there. For his mind, he actually comes back onto the ship the same way the entity got on the first time, right? Through the engines into the electrical systems.
Yeah, but he's already tried to do that though. They don't just make it happen. Like because they say that something's trying. Because they make a point of saying that his energy couldn't bond with this being, right? They thought it could, but it didn't. So,
but he's back on. His energy, personality, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is already back on the ship.
That's what I'm saying. It's already back. Yeah, it's just back before they try to beam him there and recreate him.
So they recreate the body, and then his energy just has to go into it at the same time.
See, this is the problem with this episode. A lot of this is really waffle in how they explain it, and it's very iffy, and it feels like a huge deal that this has happened. And all we really get at the end is Picard's like, I don't remember the last few hours. Oh well, weird.
Yeah.
Joke thing with the alien races.
I'll be honest, this didn't... I mean, it not feeling like a big enough deal, I definitely agree, but the logic of it seemed reasonably sound enough to me.
I don't know. I don't think it spent enough time on it. Like really, I feel like the concept, because the way I'm thinking of this is that when you copy and paste something in your computer to the clipboard, this is
Yeah.
how it works. Is that whoever beamed last, as long as they've not been beamed out, is still in there, unless someone else uses it to beam out again.
Yeah, it's more cut and paste rather than copy and paste.
Cut and paste, sure. But the idea of it's like a computer clipboard where they're stored there until, like, I presume there's enough for 6 people since there's 6 pods.
Yeah, 6 at a time.
Yeah, but once 6 more people need to go out, if the other thing has not been reformed yet, I presume it'll be overwritten.
Yeah.
You know, so interesting ideas.
I like this concept of, okay, no, we're kind of establishing more rules for the transporter.
That's fair. I mean, I didn't hate the episode. I thought the episode was okay. Like, it had some fun elements.
Yeah.
Some goofier elements. I was kind of disappointed with the alien races though. I felt like I don't mind it being funny. Like, it being played for laughs is actually okay, but I still feel like I wanted more of them.
No, I agree. It felt very one-sided as well.
Yeah.
Kept seeing the same race a lot. I mean, we saw the others a little bit, but it felt like we were seeing the same. That one we were introduced first.
Yeah.
We saw them much more than the other.
I don't know. Actually, I think it's swapped. I thought we'd see them at the start, and then we'd mostly see the other ones who are the
Those are the other ones that we're seeing.
because it was the hairy ones we saw a lot of. The reptile
Oh, you're right.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw at
But
the
either
start.
way,
And that was pretty much
it felt like we spent most of the time with one of them.
Yeah. You know, and Wesley's still the chosen one. You know, his mom at one point is like, "Hey, Wesley, you have to give the actual people working a chance to do their jobs as well. You can't do everything for them."
Yeah, because before that dude gets electrocuted to death, he's already figured it out. And the guy's like, oh, "Come on, off to school." And he's like, "But I'm learning more here." So I was like, "Well, yeah, you probably are, but still, school. It's not my choice."
Yeah, it's just there's always the risk here if you make a character too amazing, in a way where we're supposed to just be rooting for them because it's like natural brilliance, that it can really make us hate them instead because it
he
feels
is a
forced.
Wesley Sue.
He's a Wesley Sue, yes. You know, that's you know, he's Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon's writing this show. That's what it feels like to me right now. Is they're trying to put him over so much and make us think he's the best thing ever, and it's just making us hate him instead.
I agree.
Yes. Well, now I think you get that from context.
I get it from context, but
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it.
Yes. Wesley Crusher is the guy.
Okay.
He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just the guy.
I assume this is a thing.
I'm just referencing Roman Reigns stuff now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't mean to rain on the parade, but we are going to...
I got that one. Any excuse to have a shitty pun.
Well, you know how it is. You got to make the puns. You got to do it.
You've got to make the puns.
Hey. It's not like I've made any references to a certain hit television show yet, so do keep your mouth shut.
I think we should have a new rule where if something aired before that, you're not allowed to make a reference.
Bullshit. No,
That's a perfectly good rule.
I disagree.
Well, you can disagree all you want. It's happening.
I disagree. If Data, if we could do Sherlock Holmes and Star Trek: The Next Generation with Data, I can make Buffy references when I'm talking about just about anything.
But Sherlock Holmes already existed before this, so it's fine.
Yeah, but Star Trek's set in the future, so it's fine.
Yeah, so to them it's the past.
Exactly. So Buffy happened already.
Okay, I understand what your logic is now. I wasn't quite grasping it. In universe, to them it's happened.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
They're way past
it never happened in their world.
The reboot that we're getting soon, they've already had. So Picard and that already know how good it is.
You know for a fact, Joss Whedon does not exist in Star Trek's universe.
How do we know that for a fact?
I just know it's been confirmed. Just to spite you, someone confirmed it.
Dear. So the Data stuff was fun. There's some interesting ideas. Like the idea of them having to deal with the fact that the captain is not the captain is interesting. It's fun seeing Riker and Beverly Crusher, who are kind of the the higher ups. They're they're kind of Spock and McCoy essentially of the crew in terms of them making the choices. Interesting. It's funny. Obviously, this is a newer thing, so they have more money and better sets than the original show. Is how much more gadgets that the Doctor has.
Yeah.
Compared...
I'll tell you something I really like in terms of just in costuming.
Oh, the formal.
The formal wear. Oh, I like that a lot more than the jumpsuits.
The formal diplomatic wear, yes.
That was much nicer. Let's keep those. I mean, you could lose the gold trim around the neckline. Not as keen on that, but the look of it and the material of it, much keener on that.
Well, they'll definitely bring it back because they made a point of making at least 3 of those outfits for that scene. So there's no way they did that without thinking we're using these again.
Oh, they're definitely using them again, and I'm okay with it. I'd be okay with that if that was just what they had to wear all the time. Just command wear.
By the way, I love the scene where Picard sits down and puts his feet up when he's getting all cocky because he's actually the alien entity. Yeah. And just how silly the bottom of his trousers look because they've got those big slits on them when he's got his feet up.
Yeah.
It's the thing. So no, that's an okay episode. I think it wasn't tedious to watch. That it wasn't like a painful one by any means. This was not like whatever episode 3 was called, the one where Tasha was like kidnapped.
I think I had more fun with this one than I have with most of them. I think it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to ever win any best of kind of lists. I mean, depending on how good the season is, I suppose it may be on the top 5 at the end of the season. Because we'll do that again for this show that we did the original series. At the end of each season, we'll do our top 5s. But so we'll see. But we'll see how it goes. But it was okay. It was okay. Not setting the world on fire, but had enough fun elements. Data Sherlock's funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right.
It was okay. Yeah. So
if this was the benchmark for the season,
I'd
survive. Be perfectly happy. Yeah, this the first season.
We can survive with this for a couple of seasons before it gets proper good.
Yeah.
So one of the things we've been doing is we've been looking ahead to the next episode just before we leave, just to see what the description is on IMDb. It's called Justice, and here's I'll tell you this: the screen grabs are not filling me with hope. But on an alien planet, young Wesley Crusher commits a transgression small by our standards, but mandatorily punishable by death in theirs.
Yes, let's do it. Let's kill him.
Let's kill him. This is the best timeline possible. Let's do it. Oh dear! It's just the outfits that this population's wearing are
one of those
stupid. Yeah. So hey, that'll be next time. No, that has been episode 6 of the Next Generation. We'll be back next week with the next one. Of course, you can get them a week early on Patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, the $1 tier, amongst other things. So check that out. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. That helps us as well, of course. Very helpful. Helps YouTube promote the show and have it pop up in recommended videos and things like that.
Same applies to if you're listening to this on the audio feed. If you give it a rating, iTunes is a great place for it in terms of getting it to more people.
Any podcast app, really. I use Podcast Addict, and it makes a difference when you have more subs.
Does definitely
more reviews and things like that. So that is the show. So we'll be back next time with more Star Trek. Let us know what you think of this one in the comments. Keep watching Star Trek and sci-fi and all that stuff. And to everyone but Connor, live long and prosper.